Close your eyes for just 1 second. Imagine you just landed in America yesterday. You walk into a store to buy milk, bread, and maybe a phone charger. The cashier looks at you and says, "Did you find everything okay? And do you have your rewards card?" Could you answer that in 3 seconds without translating it in your head first? If your answer is no, or if your answer is, "I'm not sure," then you are exactly the person this lesson was made for. My name is Emma, and I'm your teacher here at EFL USA. Today, in this 1-hour lesson, you are going to learn the exact English you need for your first day of shopping. In America, the real words, the real sentences, and the real situations that trip up even smart, hard-working people who studied English for years back home. Not the fancy words, not the grammar rules nobody uses in real life. Just the words you need, right when you need them, so you can walk into any store in America and feel calm instead of scared. Before we start, if this channel helps you even a little bit today, tap that subscribe button and the bell, because we post a new survival English lesson every single week, and next week we're going to cover phone calls and appointments, which is a whole different kind of scary.
Okay. Are you ready? Let's go.
Let me tell you about someone named Mai. Mai landed in America 3 days ago. She came from a small city, and back home, she studied English in school for almost 10 years. She could read English textbooks. She could write essays. She even watched American movies with English subtitles just to practice. But nothing prepared her for what happened on her first trip to the grocery store. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and Mai's cousin, who picked her up from the airport, had to go back to work. So Mai was alone. Completely alone in a country where everything looked different, sounded different, and moved faster than she expected. She walked into a big supermarket near her cousin's apartment. The automatic doors opened, and cold air conditioning hit her face. She stood there for a moment, just looking. The store was enormous. Rows and rows of shelves stretched out in every direction, and above each row, there were big signs with numbers and words she didn't fully understand. She needed milk. She needed bread. She needed a few basic things to survive the week. But she had no idea where to start. She took a deep breath and walked forward, trying to look confident, even though her heart was beating fast. She found a shopping cart, and she pushed it slowly down what she thought might be the right direction. Above her head, a sign said, "Aisle 7, Dairy and Eggs." She didn't know exactly what aisle meant, but she guessed, from the picture of milk on the sign, that this might be the right place. She was right. Good guess, Mai. This is actually one of the most useful words for your first week in America, and we're going to learn it properly in just a moment. But first, let's stay with Mai's story, because it's about to get a little bit stressful, and I want you to feel exactly what she felt, so that when we teach you the language, you'll remember it forever. Mai found the milk. She picked a carton, but then she noticed something. There were at least 6 different types of milk. Whole milk, 2%, 1%, skim, almond milk, oat milk. She had no idea what these words meant, and there was no one nearby to ask. She just picked the one with a picture that looked most familiar and put it in her cart. Then she moved toward the bread section. Bread was easier, she thought, until she noticed a small sticker on one of the bread bags. It had a date on it, and next to the date, some small letters. She squinted at it. She didn't know if that date meant the bread was fresh today, or if that date was the last day she could eat it safely. This tiny piece of information, this one little date on a sticker, was actually incredibly important, and not knowing it made Mai feel a small wave of anxiety rise in her chest. What if she bought bread that was already old? What if she got sick? These are the kinds of small, quiet fears that immigrants and new arrivals, feel every single day in situations that native speakers never even think twice about. She decided to just grab a loaf that looked fresh and move on. Next, she needed toothpaste and shampoo, so she walked toward the front of the store, looking for signs. She found a large sign with a number and the words health and beauty, and she felt a small sense of pride. She was starting to understand the pattern. She was starting to read the store like a map. This is exactly the confidence we want to build in you today. That feeling of, oh, I actually understand what's happening around me. Mai grabbed her toothpaste, her shampoo, and made her way to the checkout line, and this is where things got difficult. Really difficult. She stood in line behind two other customers, and when it was finally her turn, the cashier, a young man wearing a blue vest, started scanning her items quickly. He didn't slow down for her. He didn't know she was nervous. He just said, in a fast, casual voice, "Hi, how are you today? Did you find everything okay?" Mai froze for half a second. She understood the words individually, but strung together, spoken fast, they blurred into a wall of sound. She managed to say, "Yes, good, thank you," even though she wasn't totally sure that was the right response. The cashier continued scanning, and then he said something that completely confused her. "Do you have a rewards card? Or would you like to sign up today? It only takes 30 seconds, and you'll save $5 on this purchase." Mai heard the word rewards, but she had never heard that word connected to a store before. Was this a trick? Was this something she had to pay for? Her mind raced. She simply said, "No, no thank you," to avoid the confusion entirely, even though, if she had understood, she actually could have saved $5 on her very first shopping trip. Then came the moment that made her heart truly sink. The cashier told her the total. "That'll be $42.17. Mai handed him her card, and he swiped it, and the payment went through. But as she was putting her bags into her cart, something caught her eye on the small paper the cashier handed her. 2 items had been charged twice. The same jar of peanut butter appeared on the paper 2 separate times, and she was certain she had only put 1 jar into her cart. She looked at the paper, then looked at the cashier, then looked at the paper again. Her stomach tightened. She knew, somewhere in her mind, that this thin piece of paper was proof, was evidence, was the exact tool she needed to fix this mistake. But she didn't know the word for it. She didn't know how to say, "Excuse me, I think there's a mistake. Can I get my money back for this?" She stood there, frozen, for almost 10 full seconds while the cashier waited, and the woman behind her in line sighed loudly, clearly impatient. In that moment, Mai felt something that so many of you watching this video have felt too. Not fear of the language itself, but fear of being seen as confused, fear of holding up the line, fear of embarrassing herself in front of strangers in a brand new country. She almost walked away. She almost just accepted the mistake and lost that extra money, simply because she didn't have the right words in that exact moment. But then, something in her remembered a lesson. Her English teacher back home had taught her a simple, short phrase that she had practiced but never actually used in real life. She looked at the cashier, took a breath, and said slowly, "Excuse me, I think this is wrong. Can I have a refund, please?" And she pointed at the paper, at the doubled item. The cashier looked at the paper, said, "Oh, you're right. Sorry about that." Pressed a few buttons, and within 30 seconds, the extra charge was removed and the correct amount was returned to her card. Mai walked out of that store with her bags, and honestly, with a version of herself that felt just a little bit stronger than the version that walked in. That one small phrase, "Can I have a refund, please?" saved her real money. And more importantly, it saved her from that horrible feeling of being taken advantage of, simply all because of a language gap. Now, here's my question for you, and I want you to actually think about your own answer, even if you just think it silently in your head. Have you ever been in a store in any country where something felt confusing or wrong, and you just didn't say anything because you didn't have the right words? Maybe you paid too much. Maybe you bought the wrong thing. Maybe you just walked away feeling small. That feeling ends today, because today we are going to give you the exact words Mai needed, and many more, so that the next time you're standing at a checkout counter in America, you won't freeze. You'll speak up calmly, clearly, and correctly. Let's start building your shopping survival vocabulary right now. The first word is receipt. Listen carefully. Receipt. Repeat after me. Receipt. One more time, slowly. Receipt. A receipt is simply the small piece of paper the store gives you after you pay. It shows everything you bought and how much you paid for each thing. Think of it like this. A receipt means proof of what you bought. If someone asks you, "Do you have your receipt?" they are asking, "Do you have that paper that proves you paid?" Here are two real examples. Example 1. "Can I see your receipt, please?" This is something a store employee might say if you want to return something. Example 2. "I always keep my receipt in my bag, just in case." Now it's your turn. Try to say one full sentence using the word receipt. You can pause the video if you need extra time, or just say it out loud, right now, even quickly. Good. Let's keep moving, because we have a lot to cover today, and I don't want to lose the energy of my story. The second word is refund. Listen. Refund. Repeat after me. Refund. One more time. Refund. A refund means getting your money back, usually because something was wrong, broken, or you simply changed your mind. Think of it simply as money back. If Mai's cashier gave her a refund, it means he gave her money back for the mistake. Example 1. I'd like a refund for this item, please. Example 2. The store gave me a full refund because the milk had already expired. Now you try. Say a full sentence with the word refund out loud right now. Perfect. Notice something important here. Receipt and refund are connected. You almost always need your receipt if you want a refund. Without the paper, the proof, it's much, much harder to get your money back. This is why, from today onward, I want you to build a small new habit. Always take your receipt. Always. Even if you think you don't need it. Fold it, put it in your pocket, your bag, your wallet, anywhere, but keep it, at least for a few days after shopping. Let's practice these 2 words together in a short conversation. The way Mai might use them if this situation happened again. Listen first, all the way through. Then we'll shadow it together, piece by piece. Consumer. Excuse me, I think there's a mistake on my receipt. Cashier. Oh, let me take a look. What seems to be the problem? Customer. This item was charged twice. Can I get a refund for the extra charge? Cashier. You're right, I'm sorry about that. Let me fix it right now. Customer. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Now, let's shadow this line by line. Listen, excuse me, I think there's a mistake on my receipt. Now you say it. Good. Listen again. This item was charged twice. Can I get a refund for the extra charge? Now your turn. Say the whole sentence out loud with confidence, even if your accent isn't perfect. Your accent is not the goal today. Being understood is the goal. One more time, a little faster this time, the way a real cashier might actually hear it in a busy store. Excuse me, I think there's a mistake on my receipt. Your turn. Excellent. You're already sounding more natural than you did 5 minutes ago, and that's not an exaggeration. That's simply how shadowing works. And your mouth is building muscle memory, the same way your legs build muscle memory. When you practice walking a new path over and over again. Let's take a short pause here to just breathe and reflect, because I don't want this lesson to feel like a race. Learning a language, especially at the beginning, is emotional work, not just mental work. Every single word you're learning today is connected to a real fear that many of you carry quietly. The fear of being confused in public, the fear of losing money because you couldn't explain yourself, the fear of feeling small in a big new country. I want you to know something important. That fear is completely normal. It doesn't mean you're not smart. It doesn't mean you're bad at English. It simply means you haven't had the right practice yet in the right situations with the right words. And that is exactly what we're building together right now in this video. Let's move to our third word, and this one is going to help you the moment you walk into any store in America. The word is aisle. Listen carefully, because this word is a little tricky to pronounce. A-zale. It sounds like sile, like a small island, but it's spelled A-I-S-L-E. Repeat after me. Ale. One more time. Aisle. An aisle is simply a long, narrow path between shelves in a store. When Mai walked between the rows of milk and eggs, she was walking through an aisle. Every store uses numbers to organize aisles, so you'll often see signs like aisle 3 or aisle 12. Example 1, the bread is in aisle 5, next to the peanut butter. Example 2, excuse me, which aisle has the toothpaste? This second sentence is incredibly useful. I want you to memorize it fully right now. Excuse me, which aisle has the toothpaste? You can replace the word toothpaste with literally anything you're looking for. Milk, bread, shampoo, batteries, anything at all. This one sentence pattern alone can solve almost any "I can't find it" situation in any American store. Try saying it now with a different word. Choose something you might need to buy this week and say the full question out loud. D nor dad. Our fourth word connects directly to something that confused Mai deeply during her checkout, and that's the phrase on sale. Listen, on sale. Repeat after me. On sale. One more time. On sale. When something is on sale, it means the price has been temporarily reduced. It's cheaper than usual for a limited time. This is very different from something being simply cheap. Something can be expensive, normally, but on sale this week, meaning today, right now, you can buy it for less. Example 1. This shampoo is on sale this week, so I bought 2 bottles. Example 2. Is the milk on sale, or is that the regular price? This second example is a fantastic question to ask if you ever see a colorful sign or sticker near a product and you're not sure if the price shown is the real everyday price or a special discounted price. Asking this question can genuinely save you real money, the same way understanding Rewards card could have saved Mai $5 if she had understood the cashier the first time. Let's talk about that rewards card moment for a second, because I don't want to skip it. Even though it's not one of our 5 main vocabulary words today, I want to give you one useful sentence for it, because so many of you will face this exact same situation very soon, maybe even this week. If a cashier asks, "Do you have a rewards card?" or "Would you like to sign up?" and you're not sure, it's completely okay to simply say, "No, thank you, not today." That's it. Short, polite, complete. You don't need to explain anything else. You don't owe anyone a long explanation. "No, thank you, not today" ends that part of the conversation smoothly. And you can always ask a store employee more about it later, once you feel more comfortable. Once you've had time to think about whether you actually want one. Now let's return to our vocabulary and learn our 5th and final word for this section, which is going to protect your health and your safety, not just your money. The word is expiration date. Listen carefully, because this is actually 2 words together. Expiration date. Repeat after me. Expiration date. One more time, a little slower. Expiration date. This refers to the date printed on food, medicine, or other products, showing the last day it's considered safe or good to use. This was exactly the confusing sticker Mai saw on her bread. If a product is past its expiration date, it might not be safe to eat anymore. Example 1. Always check the expiration date before you buy milk. Example 2. This yogurt's expiration date is next week, so it's still fine. I want to give you one more incredibly practical sentence here, one that will genuinely protect you and your family. Excuse me, is this still good or has it expired? You can say this quietly to yourself while reading the label, or you can say it out loud to a store employee if you're holding a product and you're simply not sure. Either way, this sentence puts the power back in your hands. You are no longer guessing. You are checking confidently in English. Let's bring all 5 words together now. The way Mai eventually learned to combine them naturally in her own life, just a few weeks after that stressful first shopping trip. Listen to this short story first, all the way through, without stopping. Mai walked down aisle 7 to find some yogurt. She noticed the yogurt was on sale, so she picked up 3 containers. Before putting them in her cart, she checked the expiration date carefully, just to be safe. At checkout, she paid and received her receipt. Later that evening, she noticed she'd been charged for 4 containers instead of 3. She went back to the store the next day, showed her receipt to the cashier, and calmly asked for a refund. The cashier apologized and gave her the money back immediately. Now, let's shadow this together, piece by piece, slowly at first, then a little faster. Listen. Mai walked down aisle 7 to find some yogurt. Your turn. Listen. She noticed the yogurt was on sale, so she picked up 3 containers. Your turn. Say it fully, don't rush, but don't whisper either. Say it like you mean it. Listen. Before putting them in her cart, she checked the expiration date carefully, just to be safe. Your turn. Beautiful. You're combining 5 separate ideas into one smooth story now, and that right there is real English fluency beginning to form in your mouth and in your mind. Let's pause for a moment of encouragement, because you've just done something genuinely difficult. You've learned 5 brand new, very specific, very useful words, not random vocabulary from a textbook, but the actual words that saved Mai real money and real stress on her very first week in a new country. Take a breath. Notice how your mouth already feels slightly more comfortable saying these words than it did 15 minutes ago. That comfort, that small physical ease, is proof that your brain is building new pathways right now, in real time, as you listen to my voice. Before we move into the next part of today's lesson, where we're going to practice fast, real-life question and answer patterns you can use at any checkout counter in America. Let's do one more full story shadow round, combining everything at a slightly more natural, faster speaking speed, closer to how a real American might actually talk. Listen first. On her first day shopping in America, Mai walked through aisle 7, looking for milk and bread. She found some yogurt on sale and checked the expiration date before buying it. At checkout, she got her receipt, and the next day, when she noticed a mistake, she went back and calmly asked for a refund. Now, repeat the entire thing after me in your own voice, at your own pace, but try to say it in one continuous flow, the way you would tell this story to a friend. Take your time. Say it now. Wonderful work. If you said that whole story out loud, even if you stumbled a little, even if you paused in the middle, I want you to know something important. You just did something braver than most people ever do while learning a language alone. You spoke out loud in English, describing a real, useful, emotional situation, using 5 new words correctly in context. That is not a small thing. That is exactly how real fluency is built. One honest, practiced sentence at a time. In the next part of today's lesson, we're going to move faster. We're going to build your reflexes with rapid question and answer drills. The exact kind of fast, casual questions cashiers, store employees, and strangers might throw at you without warning, so that instead of freezing like Mai did on that very first day, you'll respond instantly, naturally, and with real confidence. We still have a lot of ground to cover together, so stay with me. Keep your voice active and get ready to practice even more. Let's pick up right where Mai left off, because her story isn't finished yet, and neither is your vocabulary. Take a breath, roll your shoulders if you need to, and let's dive straight into the next part of today's shopping survival lesson. So, survival lesson. A few weeks after that first stressful trip to the store, Mai felt braver. She started going shopping alone more often, and each time she noticed the same pattern. Cashiers and store employees asked her fast, casual questions. Questions she never studied in her English textbooks back home. Questions like paper or plastic, or would you like your milk in a bag, or debit or credit. These questions came so quickly, one right after another, that even though Mai understood English fairly well by now, she still felt a small jolt of panic every single time, because she had to think, translate, and answer, all within about 2 seconds before the cashier moved on to the next customer. One evening, close to closing time, Mai rushed into a small pharmacy near her apartment. She needed something specific, a certain kind of pain medicine for a headache that had been bothering her all day. The store was about to close in 15 minutes, and she could feel the pressure of the clock ticking. She walked up and down 2 aisles, scanning shelves quickly, but she couldn't find what she needed. Normally, she might have just kept searching quietly, hoping to find it herself the way she did on her very first day. But this time, something had changed inside her. She walked straight up to an employee stocking shelves nearby, and without hesitating, she asked clearly, "Excuse me, where can I find headache medicine?" The employee smiled, pointed down the aisle, and said, "Aisle 4, right side, halfway down." Mai found it within 30 seconds. She checked out just before the doors closed. Medicine in hand, headache about to be solved. That single question, asked confidently instead of silently searching alone, saved her time, saved her stress, and got her exactly what she needed before the store shut its doors for the night. This is exactly the skill we're building. In this next section, the skill of asking fast, clear questions in real time. Under a little bit of pressure, the same kind of pressure Mai felt with the clock ticking above her head. Real conversations in stores don't wait for you. Cashiers don't slow down. Employees are often busy, moving quickly between tasks. So today, we're going to train your mouth and your brain to respond fast, using simple, repeatable sentence patterns that work in almost any shopping situation. Let's start our pattern drill. I'm going to give you 4 sentence starters, 4 patterns you can use again and again in dozens of different situations. Listen carefully to each one first, then we'll practice variations together. The first pattern is, "Excuse me, where is?" Or, "Excuse me, where can I find?" Listen, "Excuse me, where is the milk?" Repeat after me. "Excuse me, where is the milk?" Now listen to a variation. "Excuse me, where can I find headache medicine?" Your turn, repeat it fully. Good. Now, here's the exciting part. This same pattern works for almost anything in any store. Listen to several quick variations, one after another, and try to repeat each one immediately after you hear it, without long pauses in between, just like a real fast-moving conversation. "Excuse me, where is the bread?" Your turn. "Excuse me, where can I find batteries?" Your turn. "Excuse me, where is the checkout?" Your turn. "Excuse me, where can I find baby formula?" Your turn. Notice something important here. The structure never changes. Only the last word or phrase changes. This means you don't need to memorize hundreds of separate sentences. You need to memorize one strong pattern and then simply plug in whatever word you need right in that moment. Let's move to our second pattern, one that will help you directly at the checkout counter, the exact place where Mai froze on her first day. The pattern is, "Can I..." Listen. "Can I get a bag, please?" Repeat after me. "Can I get a bag, please?" Now listen to variations. "Can I get a refund for this?" Your turn. "Can I pay with cash?" Your turn. "Can I use this coupon?" Your turn. "Can I return this tomorrow?" Your turn. This pattern, "Can I," is one of the most powerful, most flexible tools in your entire English toolbox. It politely asks permission. It politely asks for help, and it works in almost every single shopping situation you'll ever face. From asking for a bag, to asking about a return policy, to asking if you can use a coupon you clipped from a newspaper or found on an app. Let's move to our third pattern, which is essential for solving problems quickly, the way Mai eventually learned to solve her double charge problem. The pattern is, "I need." Listen. "I need help finding something." Repeat after me. "I need help finding something." Now listen to variations. "I need a smaller size." Your turn. "I need this in a different color." Your turn. "I need to speak with a manager, please." Your turn. This last one, "I need to speak with a manager, please," might feel like a big, scary sentence to say out loud, especially if you're naturally a shy or quiet person. But I want you to understand something important. In American stores, asking to speak with a manager isn't rude and it isn't aggressive. It's simply a normal, everyday request used when a regular employee can't fully solve your problem. Managers expect these requests. They handle them calmly, every single day. So when you say this sentence, you're not causing trouble. You're simply using your voice, clearly and respectfully, to get help. Our fourth and final pattern today focuses directly on price and money, something that matters deeply to every single person watching this video, because saving money while adjusting to a completely new country is not a small concern. It's a real practical necessity. The pattern is, how much does, or simply, how much is. Listen, how much is this? Repeat after me. How much is this? Now listen to variations. How much does shipping cost? Your turn. How much is the discount? Your turn. How much do I owe in total? Your turn. This final variation, how much do I owe in total, is incredibly useful at checkout, especially if the cashier says the total number too quickly for you to catch clearly the first time. Instead of guessing, instead of just handing over your card and hoping the amount is correct, you can simply ask this question calmly, and the cashier will repeat the number, sometimes even show you the screen, so you can see it clearly with your own eyes. Let's combine all four patterns now into one fast, realistic round of practice, the way these questions might actually come up one after another during a single busy shopping trip. Listen to this quick sequence first, all the way through without stopping. Excuse me, where can I find toothpaste? Can I get a bag, please? I need a smaller size for this shirt. How much is the discount on this item? Now, let's shadow each sentence separately. One at a time, a little faster this round, closer to real speaking speed. Listen. Excuse me, where can I find toothpaste? Your turn. Say it now. Don't overthink it. Just say it. Listen. Can I get a bag, please? Your turn. Listen. I need a smaller size for this shirt. Your turn. Listen. How much is the discount on this item? Your turn. Excellent work. Notice how your mouth is starting to move a little more smoothly between these different sentence types. That smoothness is not an accident. It's the direct result of repeated, active practice, exactly what you're doing right now with me in real time. Let's take a short breathing pause here, because I want to check in with you emotionally for a moment, not just linguistically. Learning these patterns is wonderful, but I know deep down that many of you watching this video aren't just here to memorize sentences. You're here because you're building a completely new life in a completely new country, sometimes far away from family, from familiar streets, from the comfort of speaking your first language without even thinking about it. Every single trip to the grocery store, every single conversation with a cashier carries a small emotional weight that people who grew up speaking English simply never have to think about. I see that weight. I understand that weight. And I want you to know that every single word you're practicing today is chipping away at that weight, little by little, one shopping trip at a time. Let's return to Mai's story one more time, because there's one final situation I want to share with you, one that ties everything together beautifully. Beautifully. About 2 months after arriving in America, Mai went shopping with a new friend she'd met at her English class. A woman named Sophia, who had actually lived in the United States for almost 3 years already. As they walked through the store together, Mai noticed something remarkable about herself. She wasn't translating anymore. When she saw a sign that said clearance, she simply understood it meant extra discounted items without stopping to think in her first language first. When the cashier asked, "Did you find everything okay?" she answered naturally, "Yes, thank you," without any hesitation at all. And near the end of their shopping trip, when Sophia picked up a jacket and asked the cashier, "Excuse me, is this jacket on sale? Or is that the regular price?" Mai realized, with a small, quiet smile, that she could have asked that exact same question herself, using the exact same words, without any fear at all. Sophia turned to Mai near the checkout line and said, "You seem so much more comfortable in stores now compared to when we first met." Mai laughed a little and admitted, "Honestly, my first shopping trip alone was a disaster. I didn't understand half of what the cashier said, and I almost lost money because of a mistake on my receipt I didn't know how to fix." Sophia nodded understandingly and said, "Everyone has a story like that. The difference is you kept going anyway." That sentence, "The difference is you kept going anyway," stayed with Mai for a long time afterward. And I want that sentence to stay with you too. Right now, as you continue this lesson with me, let's use this real conversation between Mai and Sophia as our next shadowing exercise, because it introduces some slightly more natural, conversational English, the kind of relaxed talk you'll hear between friends, not just between customers and cashiers. Listen to the full exchange first. "Sophia, you seem so much more comfortable in stores now." Mai, "Honestly, my first shopping trip alone was a disaster." Sophia, "Everyone has a story like that." Mai, "The difference is I kept going anyway." Now let's shadow line by line. Listen, "You seem so much more comfortable in stores now." Your turn. Listen, "Honestly, my first shopping trip alone was a disaster." Your turn, and really lean into the word disaster. Let your voice show a little bit of emotion, because that's how real native speakers actually talk. They use tone, not just words, to express feeling. Listen, everyone has a story like that. Your turn. Listen, "The difference is I kept going anyway." Your turn, and say this one with a little bit of quiet pride in your voice, because that's exactly how it should sound. Let's do one more quick round of encouragement before we move into our final vocabulary review and closing section. I want you to notice, honestly, how far you've already come in just the last 30 or so minutes of this lesson. At the very beginning, we talked about a self-diagnostic test, a question about whether you could answer, "Do you have a rewards card?" in 3 seconds. I want you to try answering that exact same question again, right now, out loud, using everything you've learned. Listen, do you have a rewards card? Or would you like to sign up today? Now, answer it yourself, in your own voice, choosing whichever response feels true for you. You might say, "No, thank you, not today." Or you might say, "Yes, I have one. Here it is." Either way, say your full answer out loud, right now, with confidence. Before we move into our final review, I want to add one more incredibly practical situation because I don't want this lesson to only live inside a perfect, polite version of English. I want to prepare you for real, sometimes slightly awkward or slightly rushed moments too. Imagine you're at checkout and the cashier asks something you genuinely don't understand at all. Not even part of it. Maybe they're speaking quickly. Maybe there's background noise. Maybe it's simply a new phrase you've never heard before. In this exact moment, I want to give you one small, powerful sentence. One that will save you from freezing, from panicking, from simply nodding and saying yes to something you don't actually understand, which, by the way, can sometimes lead to real mistakes or unwanted charges. The sentence is, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Listen carefully. "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Repeat after me. "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" One more time, a little slower, really focusing on clear pronunciation. "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" This sentence is not weak. This sentence is not embarrassing. Native English speakers use this exact sentence constantly. In noisy restaurants, in busy stores, on phone calls with bad connection. Asking someone to repeat themselves is simply normal, respectful communication, and using it confidently will save you from countless confusing, potentially costly misunderstandings. Let's practice this sentence inside a short, realistic mini dialogue, combining it with vocabulary we've already learned today. Listen to the full exchange first. "Cashier, would you like to round up your total for charity today?" Customer, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Cashier, "Would you like to add a small donation, rounding your total up to the nearest dollar?" Customer, "Oh, I understand now. No, thank you. Not today. Now let's shadow this together, piece by piece. Listen. Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Your turn. Listen. "Oh, I understand now." Your turn, and say it with a small sense of relief in your voice, because that's exactly the emotion that comes with finally understanding something that confused you at first. Listen. No. Thank you. Not today. Your turn. We're building something really valuable together in this lesson, piece by piece, sentence by sentence. You now have tools for finding items, tools for asking prices, tools for requesting refunds, tools for asking someone to repeat themselves, and tools for politely declining offers you're not ready to accept. This is not soft pause. This is real, practical, life-changing English, the kind that turns a stressful shopping trip into something calm, manageable, and even, eventually, completely automatic. Before we move into our final closing section, let's do one more full combined round, bringing together almost everything we've covered in this lesson so far at a natural, slightly faster conversational speed, closer to how these situations would actually unfold in real time inside a real American store. Listen to this longer combined passage first, all the way through without pausing. Excuse me, where can I find headache medicine? Aisle 4 on the right side. Thank you so much. Is this on sale or is that the regular price? It's on sale this week. Great, I'll take 2. Can I get a bag, please? Of course. Here's your receipt. Have a great day. Thank you, you too. Now, let's shadow this entire passage together in 3 connected pieces. Listen to the first piece. Excuse me, where can I find headache medicine? Aisle 4. On the right side. Thank you so much. Your turn. Say the whole piece now as one connected flow. Listen to the second piece. Is this on sale? Or is that the regular price? It's on sale this week. Great, I'll take 2. Your turn. Listen to the final piece. Can I get a bag, please? Of course. Here's your receipt. Have a great day. Thank you, you too. Your turn, and finish with warmth in your voice, the way a real, friendly interaction naturally ends. You just completed an entire realistic shopping conversation, start to finish, using vocabulary and patterns we built together today, layer by layer, from Mai's very first stressful trip to this final, smooth, confident exchange. Take a moment right now to genuinely notice your own progress. If you're being honest with yourself, these sentences already feel more familiar in your mouth than they did at the very beginning of this lesson. That feeling of familiarity is exactly what fluency is built from. Small moments of repeated success, stacked one on top of another, until suddenly, without even realizing exactly when it happened, you're simply speaking, without translating, without freezing, without fear. In our final section today, we're going to bring everything together with a complete review of every single word and pattern you've learned. Sen, N, N. And I'm going to leave you with one more short, honest reflection from Mai's journey, something that I think will genuinely stay with you long after this video ends. Stay with me for just a little longer. We're almost there, and this final part is going to feel incredibly rewarding. Welcome back one final time. Let's finish this journey together, and let's do it properly, with the same energy and care we've had since Mai first walked through those automatic doors on her very first day in America. Before we move into our closing pattern drill, let's take a moment to fully review everything you've learned today. Because repetition, real repetition, is what turns knowledge into instinct. I'm going to say each word or phrase once, and I want you to say it back to me immediately, without hesitating, the way it would come out, naturally. If a cashier said it to you right now, in real life, at real speed, receipt, your turn, refund, your turn, Aisle, your turn, on sale, your turn, expiration date, your turn, Excellent. Now let's review our 4-sentence patterns the same way. Excuse me, where is? Your turn. Can I? Your turn. I need. Your turn. How much is? Your turn. And finally, our rescue sentence for confusing moments. Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Your turn. Notice something powerful happening right now. You said all of that back to back, without long pauses, without translating first in your head. That is not luck. That is not chance. That is the direct, measurable result of the shadowing practice we've done together throughout this entire lesson. Now, let's move into our final rapid-fire pattern drill, the part of today's lesson designed purely to build fast, automatic muscle memory, the kind of instant reflex. Mai eventually developed after weeks and weeks of real practice in real stores. I'm going to give you a rapid sequence of short situations. Listen to each one and respond immediately, out loud, using the pattern that fits best. Don't overthink. Don't search for the perfect sentence. Just respond quickly, the way you would in a real, fast-moving store. Situation 1. You can't find the eggs. Say your question now. Good. Something like, excuse me, where can I find the eggs? Situation 2. You want to know the price of a jacket with no tag. Say your question now. Something like, how much is this jacket? Situation 3. The cashier's total sounded unclear. Say your question now. Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Situation 4. You want a bag for your groceries. Say your request now. Can I get a bag, please? Situation 5. You bought the wrong size shirt and need to exchange it. Say your sentence now. I need a different size, please. Situation 6. You're not sure if the yogurt is fresh. Say your question now. Excuse me, is this still good or has it expired? Situation 7. You were charged twice for the same item. Say your sentence now. Excuse me, I think there's a mistake on my receipt. Can I get a refund, please? Situation 8. You're looking for the checkout, and the store is confusing and crowded. Say your question now. Excuse me, where is the checkout? Beautiful work. 8 real situations, 8 instant responses, using nothing but the tools you built with your own voice today. This is exactly how real fluency grows, not through silent memorization, but through active, repeated, out-loud practice, exactly like what you just did. Let's return to Mai one final time, because I want to end today's lesson the way her story naturally ends, with a quiet, honest moment of growth, the kind that doesn't come with fireworks or big dramatic music, but simply with steady, daily courage. About 4 months after landing in America, Mai went back to that very first supermarket, the same one where she froze at checkout, the same one where she almost walked away and lost her money simply because she didn't know the word refund. This time, she wasn't nervous walking through those automatic doors. She grabbed a cart, moved confidently down the aisles, checked expiration dates without even thinking twice, noticed sale signs and understood them instantly, and at checkout, when the cashier asked, Did you find everything okay? And would you like to donate $1 to help local families today? Mai understood every single word, smiled, and simply said, "Yes, I'll donate. Thank you for asking." As she walked out of the store that day, bags in hand, she thought back, just for a moment, to that scared, frozen version of herself from her very first week, the woman who almost lost money over a doubled charge because she didn't know how to say a simple sentence. She didn't feel embarrassed thinking about that memory anymore. Instead, she felt something closer to gratitude. Gratitude for every small, sometimes uncomfortable moment of practice that had slowly, quietly built the confident, capable person she had become. That, right there, is the entire point of everything we've done together in this lesson today. Not perfection. Not sounding exactly like a native speaker. Just steady, honest progress, one real sentence at a time. I want you to carry one particular sentence with you. After this video ends, the same sentence Sophia said to Mai near the checkout line. The difference is, you kept going anyway. Whatever mistakes you've made in English so far, whatever moments you've frozen, whatever money you might have lost, simply because you didn't know the right words yet, none of that defines you. What defines you is that you're here right now at the end of a full hour of practice, still listening, still speaking, still trying. That effort matters more than any single grammar rule ever could. Before we close today's lesson completely, let's do one very last full conversation shadow, combining absolutely everything we've built together. From vocabulary, to patterns, to real emotional confidence. Listen to this final passage carefully, all the way through. Excuse me, where can I find laundry detergent? Aisle 9, on the left. Thank you so much. Is this brand on sale this week? Yes, it's 50% off today only. Great, I'll take 2 bottles. Also, could you check the expiration date on this yogurt for me? Sure, it looks good until next month. Perfect, I'll take that too. Can I get a bag, please? Of course, here's your receipt. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, you too, take care. Let's shadow this final passage together in 3 natural pieces, one last time. Listen to piece 1. Excuse me, where can I find laundry detergent? Aisle 9, on the left. Thank you so much. Your turn. Say it now, smoothly, confidently. Listen to piece 2. Is this brand on sale this week? Yes, it's 50% off today only. Great, I'll take 2 bottles. Your turn. Listen to the final piece. Can I get a bag, please? Of course, here's your receipt. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, you too, take care. Your turn, and really let your voice sound warm and natural on this final line, because that warmth, that human connection, is truly the final goal of everything we practice. Not just correct grammar, but real, comfortable, human communication. Take a deep breath with me now. In and out. You just completed an entire full-length English lesson focused on one of the most common, most necessary situations you'll face constantly, week after week, for the rest of your time in America. shopping for the basic things your life and your family depend on. You learned 5 essential words: receipt, refund, aisle, on sale, and expiration date. You learned 4 flexible sentence patterns you can use in hundreds of different situations. You learned how to politely ask someone to repeat themselves without feeling embarrassed. And, most importantly, you practiced saying all of it out loud, over and over, building the kind of muscle memory that no textbook alone could ever give you. I want to leave you with one final thought before we say goodbye for today. Somewhere out there, right now, there's a version of you standing nervously in a checkout line, unsure of what to say, worried about making a mistake, worried about losing money simply because of a language gap. I want you to remember the very next time that happens that you already have the tools. You practice them today, out loud, with your own voice, in your own home. When that moment comes, and it will come, don't freeze the way Mai did on her very first day. Take a breath, remember one simple sentence. Excuse me, I think there's a mistake on my receipt. Can I get a refund, please? And speak up, calmly, clearly, and confidently, exactly the way you did throughout this entire lesson. Learning a new language while building a completely new life is genuinely one of the hardest, bravest things a person can do. And the simple fact that you stayed here all the way to the very end of this lesson tells me everything I need to know about your determination. If this lesson helped you even a little bit, please take just a few seconds to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell, because every single week we release a brand new survival English lesson covering real situations just like Mai's, from job interviews to doctor visits to phone calls to finding housing, each one designed the exact same way. Real stories, real vocabulary, real confidence building, step by step. Next week, we're moving into the world of phone calls and appointments, which comes with its own unique challenges. Fast speech, no facial expressions to read, sudden questions about dates and times. If today's lesson helped you even a little, that one is going to help you even more. Until then, keep practicing. Keep speaking out loud. Even when you're alone in your kitchen, even when you feel a little silly, saying English sentences to no one in particular. Every single word you practice today is one less moment of fear. Tomorrow. I'm Emma from EFL USA, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, and congratulations, truly, on finishing your first day surviving and thriving in English.